I'm getting tired of trying. Me on a whole different type of time. When I'm focused, you cannot deny where I'm on. West side nigga gon' go for you. I'm gonna treat it like I'm old to road. This ain't nothing new, we been overdose. No, I'm tripping.
Welcome everybody to Docseason. Welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. So my name is Marcus the Doc. You're watching Docseason, a brand new podcast for everybody. Doesn't matter who you are. This podcast is going to be for anybody that enjoys it, anybody that wants to join in, anybody that wants to be a part of just a conversation. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to get things started. I can't wait to get things jumping off. It's going to be amazing. As you know, I have rebranded myself. I have a new logo. I have a new setup. I have a new segment. I have a new podcast. It's not just a YouTube show now. It's a podcast. It's a radio show. It's going to be everything for everybody. So I'm honored to even be in this position to even be able to do this. And this quarantine honestly has helped me get the inspiration back to even come back on here and do this. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys are tuning in, listening. I hope you guys are telling your friends, family, everybody. It's just going to be amazing. I can't wait to get started. If you've been with me for a while, you know how I am, you know who I am, you know where I come from and everything like that. But if you're just now tuning in and you don't know who I am, my name is Marcus the Doc. I got my Docseason logo right here. Yes, it's lovely, it's beautiful. But it's just I'm going to take you guys on a journey of I'm going to try my best to just have great conversations, be genuine, and teach everybody a lot of new things. I want to have engaging conversations. I'm going to learn new things that I've never even realized before either. So it's going to be amazing. So this is my very, very, very first podcast, very first episode. So it's going to be very interesting to see how things are going. It's going to be very interesting to see how I articulate my conversation and everything like that. So bear with me. Thank you for bearing with me. It's just going to keep going up from here. It's going to continue to get better. I'm just going to continue to keep doing what I love to do. And this is what I love to do. But like I said, we're going to have talks I'm going to have talks with very, very top local talent, top collegiate athletes. I mean, educators at different universities and everything like that. I'm going to bring even friends and family on just to see if they can have certain perspectives on certain things. So it's going to be pretty awesome. I think it's going to be awesome. I hope y'all think it's going to be awesome. Also, I just want to mention, too, if anybody ever wants to come on the show, if you guys ever want to join in the conversation, if you guys ever want to jump on and say, hey, Marcus, I got some questions for you, man, you can holler at me. It's Docseason, so, I welcome any and everybody to the show. I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. So if you guys do have any questions or if you guys want to call in and ask me a few things, you're more than welcome to. So it's just overall, just thank you guys for just being here, and I love your support, and I'm just going to keep going no matter what, because this is just amazing to be able to talk to people and have different conversations and get different perspectives from everybody. So we're going to see how this goes, and thank you guys for tuning in. But before I get started into the episode, let me go ahead and mention that you see this ring right here, Big Sky Conference champion, Southern Utah track and field. You know how we do it. Let me go ahead and shine that in the camera for you guys. That's one of the greatest news that happened to me in 2019, my last year. So 2019 has been crazy. A lot of accomplishments. I've graduated. I'm currently working on my master's right now at University of Arizona as well. I'm a collegiate conference track and field champion. I won a few different awards for in Black Student Union back in my undergrad and everything. So 2019 has been a crazy year for me. It's a lot of accomplishments, and I've been blessed to even have those accomplishments. So it's amazing. But 2020 is certainly a different story. 2020 has been crazy for me. Has been a wild ride. A lot of things has been going on. Kobe Bryant, one of my idols, passed away tragically, and his beautiful daughter in a tragic helicopter accident. So that hit me. So 2020 has been crazy, just trying to find myself. And then this quarantine has came up. Man, this quarantine has taught a lot of people different lessons about themselves, about their spouses, and everything like that. And thankfully that I'm able to work from home and have an amazing job that I can work from home with, and just find time to even start up this podcast for you guys. So it's just amazing. And 2020, I hope we have a great year. There'll be a lot of ups and downs continue out through the year, but I hope we have a great year with this podcast and with this show, and I hope you guys enjoy it, definitely. And everybody that's out there, make sure you guys are social distancing, doing what you have to do so we can stop this pandemic, so we can go on our summer vacations. please, I just want to go on my summer vacation. That's all I need. I want to go on a cruise. I just want to do my thing. So please take care of yourself. And if you're at home, just watch the podcast, listen to the podcast, and just be here. And then that's what you can do for your social distancing. Just tune in to Docseason, you know. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. That's all about me, really quick. My name is Marcus the Doc. Again, this is Docseason, first episode, first season, and we're about to jump on and get started with this first episode. And thank you guys. And if you guys have any questions, make sure you guys let me know. All right. Thank you. Welcome back to the first episode of Docseason. How y'all doing out there? I got my two first guests with me. I'm gonna go ahead and let them introduce themselves, and then we'll get straight into the episode. So whoever take the floor, whoever wants to go first, introduce themselves.
I'll go first. My name is Marquise Gross, one of Doc's closest homeboys. Invited us to the show, so appreciate you, Doc. Let's get into the conversation. Let's have this dialect.
Yes, sir.
And
welcome to the show, my man.
And now I'm Tyler, third piece of the little trio we got. Close friend of both of these two, and so I'm excited to be here. One of the first guests on the show. Let's see how we get it popping.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome everybody. You know, we're gonna get this thing cracking, get this thing going on. Got my boys with me, so we're gonna have a nice conversation. So let me get right into it. I want to ask though, before we get all into it, I want to ask, how's quarantine doing? How's that working out for y'all?
I mean, personally,
COVID-19?
Personally, myself, I'm a homebody, so the COVID-19 not really much change for myself. I'm still going to work, thankfully. So I just encourage people, y'all stay safe, and then we'll get through this together. And when it's all over, we can get back to outside and doing the things we like to do. So I'm cool.
Man, for real, I'm ready to get outside. Tyler, how you feeling about this whole situation? How's things going down for you on lockdown?
We chilling over here. They got me working from home now, with my laptop, and so I'm thankful to be home with the family. We just taking it day by day.
Yes, sir. That's what I was thinking too, man. I'm like, at least I get to, I'm able to work from home and find time to do stuff like this podcast, especially. So I think that me personally, I'm kind of benefiting from it a little bit. I have more time to do certain things. I got more time to, spend time with my lady and everything like that. So everything's going well with that. But I'm happy y'all safe. Y'all boys healthy. That's all that matters.
Of course, man. And with this podcast, this is a chance for us to maybe learn each other more just with the conversations. You know what I mean? Like, we talk already on a daily basis, but now we get into stuff that we don't necessarily put in the messages, or it's not misguided. It's everybody's face. It's everybody's authentic, self. So I'm excited for this. This is going to be good.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is. I can't wait. But shoot, everybody else out there watching, tuning in, I appreciate y'all again. This is the first episode, and we are rebranding everything. New startup, new format, and we just going to get right into it. I wish I could have my boys out here with me, so we can have actual physical conversation. But, with this COVID-19, there's ways around it. You know what I'm saying? We're able to still have this conversation. We're still able to talk. So that's all that matters, and I'm happy for it. So we're going to get right into it. Welcome. So speaking of COVID-19, got a few questions for y'all, get into this quick dialect, see how you guys feel about the situations. But my question is, how do y'all think that this quarantine is affecting marriages, relationships, dating wise, marriages, spending time with their family? Like, do you think it has a negative effect, positive effect? Because I see a lot of different things in the media, a lot of different things that a lot of different people I've talked to have different situations. But how do you feel like this self-quarantine thing is really affecting families out there?
Spivey, you wanna go first?
I'll go first. On the real, it's really gonna make or break your either relationship, your marriage, whatever your situation is. It's really gonna make or break it, because it's gonna make you find out who the real deal, who you dealing with. And
that's true.
Hair salons closed, barbershop closed. So you're gonna see the good, bad, and the ugly while we stuck in the house.
Let me go ahead and say that. My haircut, I need a haircut, boy, ASAP. I need a haircut, man, but it's all good. But no, I feel you on that. Yeah, I feel like this time it really makes you not question, but realize that if you're with the right person or not. Not necessarily, but just like, because if you can self quarantine and spend time with your significant other for a long period of time and you still love them to death, no matter what arguments you guys get in, then that's how you know you with the right one. That's how I see it. Because I
I,
know some people out there, I see a lot of things, my bad Keys, but I see a lot of things on the media out there saying like, hey, I can't stand my wife. There's people out there committing murder, suicides, and everything like that. So it's
yeah,
crazy, bro. So, but yeah, how you feel about this, Keys? What's going on with you in your mind?
I think it. I agree with what Spivey says. It's the make or break, but I also feel like it's intention. Like now that you guys have that extra time that you really can't go anywhere. Like, what are you going to do with your lady to make it seem like she's special? Like for me, like I'm a homebody. You know what I mean? My girlfriend's not necessarily a homebody, so for her, it's like, can you do things with me to make me feel like we're not going through this? So I taught her how to play 2 to 3 card games, and now it's like, let's play the card game. And I didn't think her level of competitiveness would rise to my level, but now it's just like, let's play. Loser does this and loser does that. And so I think you just have to be creative. You have to be fun with it. And ultimately, while you're in the quarantine, have those deep conversations that y'all don't usually have. Because before quarantine, she would work 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. I go to work at 12 every day. So I don't get off till 10. So by the time I get back to the house, we only have about an hour, hour and a half of conversation between us. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, I want to get on the game with my boys. It's been a long day. So now we trying to practice. All right, let's have a conversation. Whatever's in your mind, whatever that's bothering you, let's talk about it, because now we have nothing but time. So I just encourage everybody, have those conversations, whether it be with your wife, your girlfriend. If you don't have a girlfriend or a wife, find people that you need to talk to, like your close friends. You know what I'm saying? And if you have
Mm-hmm.
both, you're lucky. So I'm cool with it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So how do you think you can? I feel like how can you find time? Because everybody needs personal time for themselves and everything like that. But if you self quarantining with your significant other or your family, not even just significant other, but even your family, like how do you think how do you think they're handling their way, how to just be to themselves or find some alone time? Or you think that's a lot more difficult since everybody's in the house now? Or how do y'all feel about that? Because I've been thinking like, I mean, yes, you're spending time with your family, but you still need your alone time. But how do you even get away from that? Because going to the other room, that's still not, it's not as easy as you think. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I know I'm just trying to,
Uh,
I'm trying to,
Now, I'll say you definitely gotta express that. Like with me and Aaron, my wife, how we set it up, she'll let me know like, "Hey, babe, I need to go upstairs. Like, can you handle with the girls? I know you." And so she'll do that when she got to do homework, or even she tell me like, "Hey, you get up first thing in the morning. Let me just take 30 minutes to myself to get my day started, and then I'll come
mhm.
down. And we'll swap out." And so that's just the biggest thing. Communication when you need that
Facts.
space is the biggest part of telling each other that you need that space.
So y'all got a little system going on.
Oh, no
Hey,
doubt.
I mean,
You got to.
people think it's funny, but I agree, man. That communication is vital. With me, I usually don't wake up 7, 8 o'clock. You know what I mean? Because I don't go to work, like I said, till 12. But now with this
Hmm.
quarantine, if I do want that self time, like, I'll let her know the night before, like, hey, I'm gonna get up. I want to do this, this, and this, and this is kind of my alone time. And it's not that I don't want to be with you. It's just sometimes we need times for ourselves. Like, even if that means me taking a hot shower, just listening to some music, like that's time for yourself. People don't categorize it as that, but I mean that counts for me. So, um, like Spivey said, man, you just got to communicate, and there's a way to communicate things. It's not always
Hmm.
how that's not always what you say, but it's how you say it. But if
Okay.
you go to your woman, I don't want to do this with you in the morning. I just want to do it myself. Well, obviously, I still gonna come off. Well, you don't want, you know what I mean. But if you come to her like, look, I want to be with you. I think everything's right between us, but I think it's healthy for us to have some alone time. Just let us do what we want to do. You know what I mean? Still respect the relationship, but like for me, my alone time is simply playing the game with my boys. Like It's not that I'm avoiding you. It's not that I don't want to talk to you. It's like, this is how I cope with what I'm stressing. Let me talk to my boys. Let me play the video game. Regardless if we win or lose, okay, stress is off. And like Spike was saying, man, you gotta communicate that.
Get you a quick Warzone dub. You know what I mean?
Facts. You know what I'm saying? Facts. We all trying to get one.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, I know how you said, like, a lot of men cope with, alone time and their stress while playing video games and everything like that. So, like, I see a lot of things on social media. a lot of women on social media are saying, like, their men isn't giving them enough time. All they care about is the video games and everything like that. And, there was times, especially in my relationship, where I was like, okay, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, why are you saying that, hey, you're spending too much time on a game? But it made a lot of sense afterwards, because I was like, after I sat down and talked to my lady and was like, okay, wait, now I see how you feel and getting a different perspective on their end, because if they have to self-quarantine as well, then why should I make them suffer all the time and have to be by themselves 24/7? You know what I mean?
Facts.
And ever since I had that conversation, it hit me, and I was like, dang, you right. I was like, you right. So now I'm bringing that topic up. How is there a system, or is it just all about communication where you want to play your game and have some alone time, or is there too much time where you're on the game, or is there not enough time, or how do you guys handle that situation with you guys being at home and everything like that?
Spike, you want to go first?
So I'll say, the biggest thing. Go ahead.
Just like, not necessarily what's going on in your household, because that's obviously confidential for everybody. But just do you think that, not even just us, but you think a lot of men out there, or they're not being considerate about, this quarantine thing and just ignoring their lady and everything like that? Like, how do y'all feel about that?
I mean, it is some people who just be like, wake up, straight to the game, get up, do what they need to do throughout the day, and then get right back on the game when they done. So it's just like, yo, like, you really need to go spend some time with your family first. So that's how I always take it as, like, I'm gonna go spend time first with them, and then I'm gonna get on the game.
I feel you. Cause I be seeing memes, bro. I be laughing at those memes, though. How they, those gaming memes, how they be, all those videos on Facebook, Twitter, and everything like that, be having me weak. But I mean,
it does get crazy. Like, I mean, I think it also depends on where are you at in the relationship? Me and my lady first started dating. If I'm on the game, all right, don't say nothing to me while I'm on this game. You see what I'm doing. You see I'm focused. But like I said, as you get deeper into that relationship, you start to find out more about each other and to, make that relationship greater. Things have to change, you know what I'm saying? And I think for me, one reason why it changes just because my girlfriend is sensitive, like, to weather. Like, it'll change her mood. So if it's sunny outside, like, she'll be cool, like, do whatever you want to do. I'm doing this. But in California, it's been raining the last 4 days. So me sitting there playing the game and then it's raining, it's just like, what kind of environment mentally am I putting her in? So I definitely had to do some changing around, you know what I mean? And for the most part, our women get why we play the game, regardless if we say it's stress. You know what I mean? They might not get it fully, but they understand, like, that's what he wants to do. He's not out doing nothing wrong. So, but at the end of the day, you can't leave your lady just out and dry.
Like that.
You know what I mean? But sometimes they be saying at the wrong moment. It's like, I'm in the top 6 right now. I'm not saying you're not important, but I'm just in the middle. So just communicate. Find something that works for y'all. Like, for me, one day out of the week, I just won't play the game. I'll give her all my time. And she's been a lot happier. The arguments are boom. You know what I mean?
So I see we all found a way, to communicate and compromise.
And it works. And it works around everyone's schedule too. So
I know,
You know what I mean? So that's what makes it even better. Spivey's 3 hours ahead of us, and we're 3 hours behind. But at the same time, it's like, well, Spivey got 2 kids, so he has to do father duties. So while he's doing father duties, Marcus, you might have to eat dinner. I'm getting home from work. So real friends make it work. They communicate it. They understand, like, you know what I mean? If you got to be a father, go be a father. If you need to be a boyfriend first, go be a boyfriend. Like, the game ain't going nowhere. So that's how I see it.
Quarantine season.
Quarantined up.
Quarantine. Back in this COVID-19, man, struggle. We find our ways, but we make it work. But everybody that's just now jumping in or viewing this podcast for the very first time, thank you guys for tuning in. You know, we're just talking about a little bit self-quarantine thing, how we handle it, how we spend time with our significant others and our families and everything like that. So appreciate y'all for jumping in. Episode 1, Docseason. Yes, sir. We're going to get right back to it. But let me go ahead and jump to another quick conversation I want to have with you guys for this first episode. It's this concept of interracial dating. I had a lot of questions, a lot of people that I had a lot of conversations in the past about interracial dating, and I know a lot of people that I know are actually in a few interracial relationships. So I kind of want your perspectives on that. Just quick first assumptions and first points on how do you guys feel personally about interracial dating, whether you're in one or not. You don't have to disclose that if you don't want to, but like, how do you guys feel about that entire situation and how people are so against it or so much for it?
Well, I think with interracial dating, there's a lot of concepts around that. So number one, I don't have a problem with interracial dating. If you happen to be African American and your woman isn't African American, but you guys are in love or you guys have a connection, by all means. However, I do find it a problem where I see it a lot in us African American men, where it's like, well, I only date white girls, I only talk to this type of women, and it's all these type of women, but African American women. I think that's a problem simply because like you come from an African American mom or dad. Like this isn't something that you should just take lightly. Like Black culture is one of the richest cultures you can have, and for you to say, well, I don't really, that's for it to not to necessarily be a priority, I think that's a problem. I also think it's a problem when, women that are not Black are kind of fetishizing having a baby or having a relationship with somebody that is African American or something like that. Like we're not objects, we're people. It's fine to say, I have a preference I want to date Black men because I like how Black men look. I feel like I'm more attracted. I have a better connection with them. There's nothing wrong, but it becomes a problem when you're objectifying them. And it's the same thing for dudes and men. It can go, there's no double standard. It goes back and forth. It's a problem if you are a certain race but you don't want to talk to that race, male or female. So be happy, be who you want to be with, but don't make it seem like one is less than the other.
That's true. So, Tyler, how you feel about that? I'm gonna go ahead and jump to how I feel afterwards, but I want to see your input. Looking from the outside.
All I gotta say is, love ain't got no color, and so whoever you meet up with as your soulmate, the person you're gonna be with for the rest of your life, is just love ain't got no color. So I had no problem with it. I've been in quite a few myself. My wife is African American, and so I see no problem with it. Only thing I gotta say is, if you do interracial date, just don't forget your roots or where you came from. Because I've seen a few Black men or women change up from where they are into something else.
Exactly. I mean, I agree with you guys. I just feel on my point, I just like about the fetishizing part. That's probably the biggest thing is that date who you want. If you love someone, I get it, cool. But when you fetishize that race just because you're dating them, that's one thing. I think that's the biggest problem is that like you said, people forget their roots, and they just I really don't like, speaking about forgetting their roots, I really don't like when people, if they're interracially dating, they completely try to culture appropriate or try to act like somebody that they're not and try to act like they're
big pet peeve I have as well.
Yes, I think that's the biggest thing. I think if date who you want, but don't just sit there and culture appropriate just because you're dating that person, just because you're dating this specific culture, this specific race and everything like that. I think that's the biggest issue. But like I said, I mean, especially me, who are we to judge? If you want to date someone, if you want to love someone, if you want to marry someone, that's cool. I get it. But I mean, I know it's a lot of people out there that are against it actually. So I think that's kind of like a big question mark. It's kind of like, why are you against it? Or I kind of want to hear like some points on that. So maybe another episode I can bring on somebody that strongly opposes interracial dating. We can talk about that and have that conversation. But
I also think though, you know, a lot of people are against it because of what history has shown us. And I'm not saying that's a vital point, but it's like, how do you move forward if you're still, I'm not saying forget history or forget the past. I'm definitely not saying that at all. But what I am saying is, okay, if you are in an interracial relationship, I feel like it is your duty to share or teach your woman, you know, your culture. Like my woman is Mexican, so you know, they eat Mexican food, they do Mexican traditions. And it's not that I'm trying to be Mexican, but it's just like, if we end up having a child together, the child definitely needs to, I want my child, if my wife is Mexican, okay, I want my child to speak Mexican. If that's your native tongue, that's what I want you to do. So
okay.
I think it's just about teaching each other. It's not more that to say one is greater than the other, but, and teaching doesn't have to be, like you said, culture appropriate. It's simply teaching. Well, this is what I learned from this, and then you just apply it. That's all it is. It doesn't have to be, you know, really, it doesn't have to be rocket science. Let's teach, and then to teach, you know, let's share the knowledge, and then, you know, move along with it.
So how do y'all feel about a specific person only? Let's take, for example, let's say a black man, since
Okay.
we're all black men ourselves and we can kind of understand it a little bit better. So how do y'all feel about how black men fetishize another race and completely disregard their own black queens and everything like that? So how do y'all feel about that?
I personally have
Date
no respect for him. I can't respect you. Having a dating preference is one thing, but that's the thing, man. There's a difference between having a preference and then just simply I'm not even looking at it, I'm not even doing it. You know what I mean? I've even told my girlfriend, who is Mexican now, we are in a relationship, I want to be with you. This is not me saying that I don't love black women. So when it comes to my social media posts, if there's black women on my social media posts that I just share, because, you know, there's millennial posts to appreciate black women or just black culture. I don't feel like you should get mad at me because that's who I am. Vice versa. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. I feel like if you are an African American man, you should love your culture and express it. You know what I mean? And like I said, if your lady is not black or is not African American, share the knowledge. Like, put her on game. You know what I mean? Like, what good is information if we don't share it?
I think that could be a bit controversial, though, on certain cultures, not necessarily Latina, but I think a lot of different cultures can kind of take that the wrong way. Because I think if you try to educate them or put them on game, then they try to act that certain way. And I think that's the biggest issue. I'm not saying with every relationship, I'm not saying with every culture, but I'm not going to call anybody out. I'm not going to call any races out or anything like that. But I think just certain situations, it's kind of hard to interracial date sometimes because, I mean, if you do teach them and they go around your family and act in a certain way that they're not, I mean, then how do you explain yourself? You know what I mean? And then that goes into my thought process about fit and about, can you relate to that person? And I think that's the hardest thing about interracial dating is that how do you not necessarily teach them, but how do you even relate to that person when you go to their family's house? How do you bring them over for Thanksgiving and feel comfortable that they're there because they are a different culture, a different race, everything like that. So I'm not totally against interracial dating. I'm not saying it's a completely bad thing, but what I am saying is that I think a lot of people do need to be mindful about how they approach it or who they're dating or why they're even dating in the first place. Because it's one thing dating somebody out of your race, but then if you sit back and ask yourself, why am I doing it? And you really don't have explanation, but I like this type of I like these type of girls. You know what I mean? Then I feel like that's like, okay, well, that's like totally, that's not a good reason to why you're dating your woman just because you like that type. I mean, I get it.
It's not valid. Yeah,
I get it, but I think you're supposed to love who you love, but not totally disregard your own culture just because ill. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Tyler, how you feel about that? You see what I'm saying, though?
No, I definitely agree on it. It's like just because you feel one way, you just don't abandon who you are. And so I definitely agree with you. it's mad disrespectful just to be like, I like white women, so just I'm not. I'm done with the like black culture in
Mm-hmm.
general, so I'm not even gonna mess with it. And so it's just real. I don't like it, so I find it real disrespectful with that.
I think
Espe-
that's.
especially if your mom is black. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's more of like a more of a slap in the face. You know what I mean? Like me being myself, obviously people can tell I am African American male. For me to say I don't find black women attractive, it's like, well, your mother is black, so what are you implying there? You know, and not an attraction
Exactly.
of the way of how you would see a girlfriend, but it's simple. It's off to me, and you know I can't respect. And I also really like the point, Marcus, where you said it can get not necessarily ugly, but it can get questionable if you're trying to teach, you know, your woman, you know, about your culture, and then she tries to be it. And it's like, I'm not asking you to be it. I'm not asking you to, you know, copy. I just want you to not necessarily understand it, but just hear where I'm coming from and know
Yes,
that
sir.
it's not out of a place of disrespect. You know what I mean? Because kind of what you're saying, if I'm a black man, I'm dating somebody white, do I feel that she can understand everything that I go through as a black man? No, you know what I mean? But I don't want her to. I don't want her to feel it. I just want her to understand how it makes me personally feel. So
Mm-hmm.
it can get tricky, but it's about the communication and how you approach the situation and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I think it's just education, but just know who you're with, I guess. You know what I mean? Because I think especially
mm-hmm.
us as black men, you can kind of tell if a woman is just in you because you're black, or if it's they actually love you for who you are. And I'm just speaking on perspective as a black man, because you know that's who I am. That's what I know. I can't speak on other cultures. I can't speak on other races, but I'm just speaking on what I know and what I've seen in my life. You know what I mean? So I
Mm-hmm.
I I completely see how y'all feeling. I just think people just need to realize who they're with and just see if that's the right fit. Just like if you go to a job interview and they decline you, it's not because they didn't like you. It's just, oh, you're not the right fit. So it's
Yep.
just I think that's just the biggest thing with that. But I think interracial dating is a very touchy topic, and I love to have more perspectives on that conversation in another episode. So I know I'm going to bring on a lot of different people with a lot of different perspective as well. So I just like to engage in that conversation just to see, you know, how people handle it or how they feel about that, you know. So, but I appreciate you guys for doing it. Y'all got any other thoughts on that, or is that's just how you feel about it?
Nah, I'm straight.
Nah, I think you covered it really well. Everybody, you know, everybody bouncing off ideas and throwing good facts in there. So, you know, I
Mm-hmm.
really want to see what people are gonna say, like, well, they're wrong because of this. Then it's like then that deeper conversation gets into it. So I know it's episode 1, so I'm getting ahead of myself. So I'll let you continue.
Yeah, man. It's no. I want everybody that's watching, and I want everybody that's on here. Keith and Tyler, I appreciate y'all, but everybody that's watching as well. This is only the first episode. There will be more conversations. There will be more dialogue. There will be deeper conversations. This is just kind of breaking the ice a little bit, you know, just the introduction to the show and everything like that. So if you guys do have any questions, if you guys have any thoughts or anything like that, you already know you guys can hit me up. You guys can comment. You guys can do whatever you got to do. And of course, I'm going to continue to have that dialogue with different perspectives, no matter what. Whether you agree to disagree, it doesn't matter. But you know, it's just all, you know, it's just open conversation. I don't want anybody to feel like they're not on this show. I want everybody to express themselves the way they are. I want everybody to feel comfortable talking about how they feel and everything like that. So I appreciate you two, especially for coming on for my very first one, you know, really testing the waters and everything like that. And you guys really helped me out with that. So I appreciate that a lot. You know, it's all love with y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go ahead. You know, I'm gonna keep this episode real shortcut and clean, just like that. And I just want to thank everybody that jumped on here and took the time to watch. And you guys are here with me throughout this journey. You know, it's gonna be a rough one. It's gonna be a lot of ups and downs. I'm gonna correct myself a lot. I'm gonna fix a lot of different things as the episodes keep rolling. But you know, it's a work in progress. Everybody starts somewhere. Everybody has to keep going. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm a,
I really want to encourage people to make sure you guys are commenting, you know, under, you know, if you feel we said something wrong, right, or indifferent, like opinions, open dialogue is the most important thing you can have amongst people communicating. So like, let's communicate. So when Marcus put this on his social media, or if I put it or Tyler put it, I want y'all to listen to understand and not just to argue. Like, if you disagree with something, really find out, okay, why do I disagree? Am I disagreeing just because it's this thing, or am I disagreeing because I have an actual feeling? So I just want that to be said, just because I know a lot of opinions can get flipped around. Well, you said this, so you're saying this. No, you know, nobody's implying anything that we did not say. So I just wanted to say that.
That's a disclaimer. That's a disclaimer
Yeah,
from Keith
that's
right
had to
there.
put that out
There we
there.
go.
Said come with some facts.
You had to go ahead and put that disclaimer out real quick.
Because a lot of people, no, I'm saying, because a lot of people get sensitive and say you're saying one thing, and it's not the opinion of everybody. If I'm saying one thing and I feel one way, take it for what it is. Don't add on to anything. You know what? You don't do that. If you go to the court of law, ignorance of the law it's not valid. So you need to understand what we're saying before you rebuttal or make a point to disagree with something. So yeah.
Well, everybody that's watching, y'all heard that disclaimer from him, so don't come at me. Nah, but all jokes aside, though, I appreciate y'all for jumping on, getting in here and everything like that. One more thing I got to say for the viewers out there, if there's any suggestions or if there's any topics that you guys want to talk about, please let me know on that so I can jump on that as well. If there's any suggestions with my video, if there's any suggestions with my audio or anything like that, please let me know as well. You know, I'm testing the waters out here and I'm trying to perfect everything the best way I can. So just help me to help you. We're going to continue to have this dialogue, and I appreciate y'all. Tyler, Keisha, y'all got anything y'all want to say for the people out there before y'all jump off of here?
Follow me on everything. No, I'm just kidding. I ain't got
Nah, go ahead. Go ahead. Put your socials out. Do what you got to do.
Nah, I don't got nothing to say. I ain't that important on social media. You know, just I want people to comment. I want people to support Black business, support Black movement. Like, all we trying to do is have healthy conversation. That's it.
Yes, sir. That's all it is. Tyler, you got any? Go ahead. Throw out your socials. How you want to let the people find you?
Look, this Docseason, I ain't got to throw myself out there.
Yeah,
you already know where to find
follow me on Instagram at Docseason or Marcus the Doc, or whatever his name is. Follow him, and if he give you our plug after that, though, that's on him. This is Docseason. It's all about Doc.
Look, I appreciate y'all, but I still want y'all to get y'all exposure as well. You know, it's all love. It's all love around here. But shoot, it's the
we
same.
all eat around here.
But shoot, it's the same thing on everywhere. You know, I appreciate y'all for jumping in on me, man. Engaging in this conversation. I appreciate the viewers. If y'all want to follow me, if y'all want to keep going on with my content, everything is almost the same pretty much. You can actually add me on Instagram as Marcus the Doctor. You know, follow me. I'm gonna post all my stuff on there. You know, we can get dialogue going on there. I'm gonna have a few Instagram lives with there too. Y'all can jump in, have a Q&A session, everything like that. So I know that's gonna be lit, and I know that's gonna have a cool conversation when I jump on live too. So make sure y'all get that as Marcus the Doctor, MarcusThe Doctor. You know how to find me. Twitter, Marcus the Doc. Instead of Doctor, is Marcus the Doc. So you know, MarcusTheDoc. Marcus the Doc. So go ahead and follow me on Twitter. I'm about to get a little bit more active on Twitter so I can start posting my podcast, but you guys can hit me up on there if y'all got anything as well. Shoot, and you already know I got Snapchat. Snapchat is Marcus the Doctor as well. So if you guys want to come on there, I'm going to post a few snippets of my episodes on there as well. So almost every social is about the same. If you look at Marcus the Doc, I'm pretty sure you're going to find me. Let me go ahead and throw out one last thing before I jump off too. Add me on Call of Duty Warzone Docseason, and you know we can get it popping.
Yeah.
I love to play.
Now you can add me on that. Yeah.
Hey, we get on the game after this. What you talking about?
We get right
for real. Get right to it.
So to it. So yeah, man.
I love to play with my viewers too, man. So if y'all start watching me and you like what you see and y'all want to hop on a little bit of Call of Duty with me too, I appreciate that. So you know it's Docseason on Call of Duty, and I'm on Xbox. So you know.
Trash box is what he needs. That's what he needs. I just got one more thing to say, man. Look, if y'all gonna play with Marcus the Doc on Call of Duty, make sure it's around our scheduled times already. You don't think your time coming before us. So,
Yes,
we
sir.
like you, we appreciate you and all that, but hey, the three have to get the dub before anybody else.
Yes, sir, they do. Well, shoot, man, I appreciate y'all for joining the conversation once again. All the viewers out there, it's doc season all the time. Don't ever forget where you came from. Show love, positivity, especially in this terrible quarantine time. Spend time with your family, friends, or just sit back and think to yourself about things that you love to do. Be creative, buy some shoes because I'm definitely getting my shoe game up. So,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I gotta teach my sons how to dress,
Nah.
Gotta get them right.
But shoot, man. No, one more thing that y'all appreciate y'all for jumping on, y'all. All right, man. Y'all have a good night. Everybody's watching, y'all have a good night as well. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you slide up, ask any questions, comment, everything like that. So I appreciate y'all, and I will get better. This is just the first one, so just stay tuned. All right, appreciate y'all, and I'm out.
All right.
I'm getting tired of trying. You on a whole different type of time. When I'm focused, you cannot deny where I'm on. West side nigga gon' go for you. I'm gon' treat it like I'm old to you. This ain't nothing new, we been overdose. No, I'm tripping if it's over you.